All right, welcome, moon lovers. We are here to unlock some magic within, and I am Curious Cat, and I have my illustrious co host, Imber Tyler.
Hello.
Hey. So, we're working with the topic of self centered inside of Luna's Vault Academy, where we really empower ourselves and others. And so, with that topic of self center, I've got a question for you. So
Yes.
we've got a couple of keys that we work through, and the main keys being choice and self-acceptance. So, but because we're at the full moon, right? We're in the full moon
Yeah.
section of the cycle here, and it's really about shining a light on yourself, right? And so taking that self-centeredness and shining a light on yourself. So, my question this week is, what does it really mean? And I've got two questions, or like kind of two parts to it. But what does it mean? What does it really mean to shine a light on yourself?
Yeah. Okay. What does it mean to shine a light on myself? That's a stall tactic while you're thinking.
Right?
Okay, first thing that comes to mind is making sure that I am taking care of myself, right? Back to that whole topic of self-centered and how we mean it in this entire cycle is making sure that we're taking care of ourselves. Self-care, self-love. So that's the first thing that comes to mind, making sure that I am drinking enough water, making sure that I have meditation time and alone time. For me personally, that is definitely needed. And making sure that I get to do things that I enjoy, that I don't set up um, my to-do list so full of things I'm supposed to do instead of things that I enjoy and love to do. And that is where I include friends and family involved there too. So that's the first thing that comes to mind when you say that. But there's more to it for me as well. Once those are taken care of and my vessel feels full, I feel complete and I feel in alignment and empowered. Then it is about really taking that energy and being able to utilize it out into the world to manifest whatever my intentions are at that point. So, for me personally, lately it has been really all about business and growing my business and sharing my gifts out into the world. So, shining that light on what I can offer others and how well I can help people manifest their intentions and utilizing these cycles to do so.
So that right. So that those are really great points. So what about, so this isn't the second part of it because I still want to ask that too, but what you just said really made me think about, so what if you're too busy to do all of the things that you just named off, saying that you want to do this first before you shine your light on yourself? What happens? I mean, have you ever been in a situation where you've been too busy to, I know, right? Y'all can't see the look on her face, maybe, but yes, very clear of what happens when you're too busy. What is it? Do you just not shine the light on yourself? And then get into that cycle of like, oh, I can't show up, and then the guilt and that? Or is it, do you have a little secret that you can share with us that that someone who maybe is struggling with to shine a light, because that invokes a lot of that old programming and stuff. So tell us your secrets. What do you do to put that shining that light on yourself to make yourself feel worthy or in that space?
Well, of course, that definitely happens, and more so in my past than it does today. And the reason being, it becomes part of the daily routine, the weekly routine, the monthly routine. If you take a moment of whatever time of day that works best for you and take a moment, and I do mean a moment. I like to use 11 to start, just because, well, if you guys know us at all, you know that Kat and I love like sequential stuff, and the number 11 is very important to us. And I would take 11 minutes out of the day to do one of those self-love practices that I mentioned, or whichever one is best for you, whether it be, taking yoga, taking a walk in nature, whatever it is. We all know we all have something that we need just for ourselves. And taking 11 minutes of, I'd like to say the day, but I've been in situations, and I'm sure, especially like new mothers, those with maybe a new positions or new careers where everything is consumed. I mean, that consumes all of your time, starting once a week, starting once a month, right? Like and that's what the entire manifest with the moon movement is all about, of taking time, of just being aware how quickly time moves in a moon cycle. If we just took 11 minutes in a 28 and a half day cycle, can we do that? Can you do that? Right? And committing to it. And then from there, maybe then it can go to once a week, and focused on each of the four major moon phases once a week. And by focus on them, I mean that just take 11 minutes to yourself once a week. Yes, it might be the full moon. Yes, that's awesome. Don't have to do like full moon things. We go deep with all kinds of fun, cool rituals and stuff to do. You don't have to do that. Just take a minute of like, I'm going to take a bath. I've got a good couple of days to just focus in. A bath for me. That's it. I just need a bath.
So you answered my next question, right? Because it was like, what's one action step that, or something that you can really shine a light on to say, because actually, like, and did I cut you off? Because did you have more to say about that? Because I wanted to talk a little bit
Oh,
about the
no, no, I was yes and no a little bit, as I don't want to cut off your question, but I think I'm answering it.
yes.
I think if not, yeah, we'll
Yeah.
continue. But like even stuff like I'm thinking of sweet little alone stuff, but it could even be other things of like, um, if you love to bake, then okay, I'm baking. That in itself is a self-love practice if you love doing it. If you don't, then it's not, and it's from it. But anything, it doesn't have to be, we're thinking like of all the cool woo stuff that you could do, right? Go to yoga or meditate or whatever. It doesn't have to be that. It could be just something that you enjoy. If you enjoy um crossword puzzles, if you enjoy anything that you enjoy that really kind of sets your soul in alignment, whatever that may be, just sitting and loving on your cat or your dog, or being out in nature. Of course, I mentioned that. Whatever that be, if you take that 11 minutes, and at that point you can grow it once it gets comfortable, once it's in your schedule. And I think that has a lot to do with it, of like putting it in your schedule and making it consistent. If we can schedule a to-do list of a bunch of other work and stuff and wanna do's and need to do's and have to do's, then why can't that be a part of it too?
All right. Well, that's time. So time's up. And oh my gosh, I really want to continue this conversation.
It is
So,
a fun one. It is a fun one.
yes, yes, yes.
And we covered a lot. It seems like I rambled on about a lot of things and trying to throw some ideas out there. But I mean, I know you guys have a lot of really good ideas too. So please share those with us. Please share your experience of what this shine the light on yourself, what that means to you. Yeah, share it with us. Emails, direct messages. There's so many ways to get in touch with us that we'll share. And we'd love to hear from you. But
Yes.
before we sign off here, what was your key takeaway, Kat?
So as I was listening to you talk, of course, my mind goes into as someone as the mother of three kids, and then having, in-laws and a business and, lots of different things. I was like, gosh, 11 minutes, like that seems like so much. So I think, even if you took 1 minute, even 1 minute, because that's showing up for
Huge.
yourself. It's to take a breath. Yes, to take a breath and to set your intention for the day. Like my husband talks about, something I shared with him was we hang it on our mirror in our bathroom, but it's to set the intention that you're going to have a good day. that good things come my way, and just be, it can be rhythmic or whatever, whatever will make it stick. But it's that, even that 1 minute that you can take to really set that consistency. And then from there, maybe you can find a time to do something a little more. So that was my big takeaway. How about yours? What takeaway did you have?
I think my big key takeaway is really about the manifesting with the moon, about how important that became in my life once I started doing it. That, yes, things seemed at one point um overwhelming is the word that comes to mind.
Sure.
The schedule's overwhelming, life just gets overwhelming, and yes, you could throw fun in there, and sometimes the fun would be off balance to the
Sure.
extreme, meaning like, let's go out and party way too much and then have to pay for that for a few days. And so it was like, once really focusing on the cycles and where my place in the cycles were naturally flowing, and where there was a little bit the ebb and the flow of really being aware of that. And yeah, it takes a minute, it does, but when that becomes the focus, then you can really start filling up your vessel for any sort of self-centered practices.
I love it. Okay, so here's my suggestion is take your 1 minute and look at the moon,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Wouldn't that be cool? Like put it in your calendar just to even
yeah.
be that awareness of, hey, what is it? And then when
Where
it's,
is the moon at this point?
yes,
Where in the
yeah,
cycle? Yeah, yeah.
and really go within and say, what is it that I could be doing that would be nurturing? So fun stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, let's hear from our listeners. I would love that.
Tell us
Yeah.
what you do. We can't wait to hear. Okay, until next week, happy manifesting.
Happy manifesting.